Every time. We're gonna have to go with the
I love that you laugh every single time we play this.
It's so unexpected. I feel like it's overkill, even though this is for the Orville people. And
every time I play it, I hear you laughing.
we get a nice compliment. We get a nice compliment from somebody who said, "Thank you for clipping out your reviews because I don't want to watch your entire long live show." So, which we're grateful for everyone who shows up for the live show because that's the whole point. But that's why I'm laughing because we reviewed something else a moment ago, the same thing. So
every time I play, I hear Shane.
I don't know what it is, man.
Okay, guys, we are reviewing the Orville Season 3, Episode 2. And if you don't know how it works, then you haven't been here. And this is how it works. Pretty much. I'm going to reset this because it was...
That's not the score. That's not it.
When Shane likes something, we give it an upvote. See that little number just pop up next to his name? And when I like something, it's an upvote. And when I dislike something, downvote. And the same for Shane. So... at the end of this review, we're going to take both of our scores and we're going to average them into the official Popcast number. And what did last Orville's number? What was that? What was the number for Orville last episode? Damn it. I can't speak to it.
It was a 10, right?
It was a 10. It was a solid 10.
Solid 10.
So we gave it a 10 because, partly because I'm sure we were so ecstatic to finally see the Orville, but we couldn't find anything wrong with it. Later on, people complain about there being lack of humor and all that. I guess with our system, it's hard to upvote and downvote something that's not there. So if there was a lack of humor and that's a criticism, that's a valid criticism, sure. But we can't upvote it or downvote it. So there's no way for us to have.
Well, we can say, if that was like a compass with which we measure the show by,
right?
But I think we tend to lean a little more away from the humor. It depends on the episode. Right. I think you can have a serious episode, and I don't think every episode needs to have, Mocklin sex in it or Mocklin porn.
I disagree. I think every episode should have Mocklin sex in it.
Well, if it does, then it's a different show than what we watch.
I want the show to open up with Bortus on the holodeck every single episode in some other depraved sexual act.
Well, then it changes the tone. So are you sure that's what you want? Ideally that would be hilarious, but I think and I think this is a fair thing to say. When the Orville first came out, it was very Family Guy in space. Yeah. And after the first half of the season, it started to change. You're like, wait a second, these are telling great Star Trek stories.
Right.
Hold on a sec. And then season 2 had some really great funny stuff, but it went to this whole serious, it became kind of serious.
Yeah, there's Ray's trying to end the universe and time travel, and I was like, oh, now I got to sit up and pay attention.
So I want to warn you guys, all of you who love the Orville, if you are watching the Orville because you love Star Trek comedy, like Lower Decks type of stuff, you are probably not going to enjoy the rest of the season of the Orville. I don't have a feeling that there are a whole lot of slapstick stuff left, although there are little moments of comedy in each of the episodes. Even in this episode 2, which was, I would say, a pretty darn serious episode, there were a couple of moments and even a sex joke in there for Seth. So hopefully it's enough to hold you over and tide you over. But I think season 3 is a little more on the serious side.
Yeah, I said the same thing. You can't really be like John Burns just said, you're going to upvote, he's dead, waka, 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 about suicide.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah, you can't. And what their criticisms was more maybe it shouldn't have been the first episode. But then we disagree. It had to be the first episode because it had to deal with Isaac and the new character. So
Isaac's story had to be told.
Right. So humor or not, this show is good. It's not going to be the same as the first season. There is more at stake here. It's a little more serious. There's more canon. There's more substance, and that's good. I think it's good.
Ideally, ultimately. And there's a couple of moments where there's a really inappropriate joke in this episode that I watching with my kids would have a hard time explaining.
What's that?
Which was fine. What's that?
Which one was that?
It's when Seth was explaining to Kelly how she's not getting the thing off properly.
Oh.
My kid's like, what does that mean?
If you gotta jerk it, you're not doing it right.
8 more years, son. We'll talk about it.
8 more years, boss. I like how it wasn't just him. It was him and Grimes, right?
I don't know who was standing next to him.
It was both. Yes. No, yeah. So Grimes said it first, and he came in like 5 minutes later and said the same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So here we go, guys. Orville time. Opening up with a 6-shot of the Orville, of course.
Graphics are so gorgeous, man. Just can't. We're gonna be interviewing Brandon Fayette, who's in charge of production over there, and I really have a lot of questions to ask him about like what they did to upgrade it so much, because it does look so much better.
It does, yeah. I mean, a lot of it's practical, so I don't believe that it was. I mean, yeah, there's a lot, obviously graphics, but like a lot of what we see is inside the ship, and that's practical. Like we were there; it's definitely practical, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, but even their VFX stuff is just really next level.
I agree. All right, so we open up. Claire is in her office, and here comes Admiral. This guy seemed. What's his name?
Admiral Christie.
Admiral Christie. Did you get a weird like rapey vibe from him in the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not how an admiral usually acts, but we find out he has a good reason for it.
He's like in love with Claire or whatever, right?
Well, he was married to her once.
Right, but in the very beginning, like, it felt like maybe he was inappropriate or something. Like, he had the...
Yeah, he obviously knows her very well, or wants to.
Right. He's like, oh, why so formal? Because you're an admiral, dude. Like, actually, I'm gonna give that a downvote.
But hold on. What if it was your ex-husband?
I felt like the tone was off here.
I know, but what if it was your ex-husband? Like, let's say you're Claire. I want you to put on your medical coat for a second, and your black curlies, okay? And you're Claire, and you're chilling, right? And you're like, hey, hand me over that medical device. And then in walks a salty old white admiral, okay? And then be like, hey, remember me?
Oh, your admiralship. Whatever shall I do?
So, I mean, there's carnal knowledge involved here. I mean, I think he has the right to act like a regular person.
I don't know. So I'm not going to blame the writing. I think that maybe the acting was off or something, because this character in the beginning didn't work for me.
Maybe he should have come in and said, like, it's been a long time, Claire.
It's been
and then like the music from General Hospital starts to come in.
No, but my problem is the way it was played. For me, it felt, I don't know, like he was abusing his, like, that vibe where like someone's abusing their power to sort of like hit on a subordinate. I don't like it. I didn't like it. Bothered me.
I mean, if it turns out that they weren't married, then I agree with you. Like, it did feel that way. But once I realized their backstory, then I didn't feel so bad about it.
Yeah, KB Games. Yeah, I gave him a downvote. I'm sorry, man. I gave sexual harassing ex-husband a downvote. That's it, right away.
You kind of feel sorry for him a little later, I think.
No, at no point do I feel sorry for this guy. No. I don't. Hey, it's not a very good character. I guess
he still has feelings for her.
Yeah, but they're not reciprocated at all.
I mean, but that's why that's kind of why I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, he's really trying to get her like, hey, he's like, unmarried men look younger. What the hell, bro?
You're like
you're lucky I already downvoted you, because that would be another downvote line, dude. Chill out.
Yeah, no, it was definitely getting creepy there before you.
It's creepy, bro. He's like leaning over her desk, like, get out of there, Penny, get out of there.
So we learn that basically what's happening is the Orville's getting ready to head to unexplored Krill space. They're solidifying the treaty with the Krill, and this admiral is on board essentially to make sure that happens.
Right. Yeah. And
And he used to be a professor of Claire's,
which is even more inappropriate.
Well, right. Well, so they were actually having, I mean, she's an adult, he's an adult, which is still inappropriate. But so she was a student. They started seeing each other, and then after she was no longer a student, they got married.
Right.
But he quickly decided, like, he just really wanted a plaything, I guess, a young plaything.
Ugh. God, so gross. Okay, this scene with the krill is gonna get an upvote from me. I love the interaction between the krill and I'm trying to get there without hitting play. Between the krill. I gotta go back. Damn it.
That actually gets an upvote from me just because Ed gives us a reality moment of he doesn't really want to be at this party.
Right.
And he's giving us that honest, like, Kelly leaves him and he's gonna just get drunk, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm giving it upvote. Yeah, I thought the krill were I liked it too. It's like once the Kalon are crushed, our alliance will be dissolved. Like,
right, because we have to remember that the krill think of humans as basically cows. Like, right, we are not.
Yeah, we're food.
Yeah, we're not like on the level of on their mental level to them. We're not worthy of their attention.
Yeah, because we are livestock.
Basically, yeah. Praise Avens.
So they had to ally themselves with the cows so that another enemy couldn't take them out. I like that. Yeah, I like this whole scene. It was good. Yeah, creepy guy again. Something. I gotta be honest. I'm probably gonna upvote it when he gets wrecked. Oh, so I like this too. Their explanation about something that was like super. So they want access to a planet so that they can mine it for a material that they use for their propulsion, right?
Yes.
And in return, I guess they want to go and like explore the expanse. And their response to them was very interesting. Like, hey, you don't want to go in there. Like,
yeah.
You'd think if they hated them, they wouldn't care. But like but their distaste for the I want to say Federation. That's not correct. The Union is not as gnarly as their fear of this creature.
That's true, but they also did say, well, we're not going to come save you. So maybe it was also in part to make it so there wasn't some sort of incident or, imagine them dying in their territory because of something if they didn't at least say something,
Right.
But the demon thing I thought was interesting because it kind of goes to show, I would have thought they would probably take that a little more seriously, at least the hint of a warning that the crew would have, obviously if the krill, but they kind of got, it's been 100 years since they even went in search over there. It's probably nothing, right?
Yeah, but so the reason that they didn't take it seriously is because they know that these people are like religious zealots.
Right.
So like, it makes sense that a religious zealot's going to like have superstitions. And so they probably just think it's superstitions, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes into it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on. Oh, okay. So how'd you feel about oh no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get past this point. They're gone. How do you feel about the Admiral
Christie?
I was about to say Admiral Me Too. How do you feel about him going
Admiral Me Too?
Admiral Me Too. How do you feel about Admiral Me Too going on the mission with them? Here we go. Here we go. Admiral Me Too being Me Too again. Look at this. He finds her at dinner. Hey, Claire, what's happening?
So they did find an actor that kind of has creepy, like Andrew, Andrew, this is the guy from Psycho, Andrew Perkins, I think. Yeah. Anthony Perkins.
It's like Bill O'Reilly without the facial hair.
Bill O'Reilly. He does have that vibe going on, but he really likes her and he thinks that he's gonna get her back, and he's going on this mission essentially because he wants to be with her. I'm pretty sure that's why he's going.
Right. You made a mistake, bro.
Yeah.
Read the room, dude. Read the room. Okay. Yeah, so he's going on the mission. I'm gonna get past the. This is awkward. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go back one real quick. He has a ring that he carries around with him. That's made out of.
You feel bad for him?
No.
I mean, he's obviously pining for Claire. Feels like he made a mistake. You don't got a little bit of sympathy for the dude.
See, I think the actor's not playing it right, bro. Because like, I'm getting like player vibes from this guy the whole time. I'm not getting,
okay. So you're thinking he's playing her.
He's just trying to hook up with a previous flame. I don't feel sorry for him at all. I feel like he's a dirtbag.
So either he didn't pull it off in his acting job, or that was his ultimate goal and it really didn't pay off.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to the Orville. I'm gonna grab this ring and I'm gonna hook up with Claire again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I subjectively the actor didn't do it for me. Doesn't mean the episode's bad, just the actor didn't do it for me.
Well, I guess that's a good point. I think because that never really gets sussed out, I'm going to give that a downvote.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I really feel like, because now that you brought that up, I think it's a good point. It needed to be one or the other. And because it was a little bit ambiguous, then I guess, because we don't know whether he was sincere in his feelings or whether he was just being a player, and that didn't come through, that's still not a positive.
Right. Okay. Oh, so the speech though. Ed gives a speech. I like this, right? He did from his heart. He didn't prepare a speech, right?
Yeah, I love Kelly tells him, just do it from your heart. Please, give me an upvote on that one. Yeah. I love how he says, "May the force be with you."
Yeah, he says, "May the force be with you." You know what's funny is I wonder if he can do that now because they're technically owned by Disney and he couldn't do that before.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, I don't know.
Could they do it before?
No, they're still part of. I mean, they're still the same. This is still a Disney product.
Right, but it wasn't a Disney product before the acquisition.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it did belong to Fox.
Right. Another creepy thing was when, I don't know, I don't like this guy. I'm actually starting to dislike him. Now that I'm watching a second time with you here, he comes to Isaac and he's like, "Hey, how'd you feel about?" I don't know. You guys let us know. Hit the comment section. Like, how do you feel about Admiral Christie, the creepy white guy, creepy old guy? Sorry. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about him? Did you get like vibes, or was he just a pathetic old man pining for an old relationship? That's the question. I would like to know.
Well, in this situation, I mean, I felt like he went to the only source he could. Claire already basically turned him down. So he went to the only source he could to try to find a way to get back into her graces. I mean, he obviously feels like he can somehow win her back over still. So I'm still, because I already told you it was unclear to me. So I still am unclear.
Mm. Yeah. So this whole exchange was just sort of, I mean, I guess there was funny parts when he starts talking about how Claire likes particular coitus positions or whatever. I thought that was sort of funny.
Yeah, well, Isaac, he's not going to hold back because he's he's just going to say it like it is.
Yeah. All right, moving forward past that point. All right, they're going to the Expanse. How do you feel about this Expanse area?
I don't really understand it, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what it is. What? I guess there's no stars.
Yeah, so real space has expanses, like between solar systems or galaxies or whatever. Sometimes there's entire areas that don't have solar systems, and so they're just black voids.
I don't think they don't usually call them expanses though. They call them like voids.
They call them voids, right?
So I thought the term expanse was a little unclear, but then I got it, so it wasn't like a downvote or anything like that.
Yeah, Jeremy just said Admiral Christie was being creepy old dude. He was asking everyone on the ship who was intimate with Claire. Yeah. Like, bro, putting off some weird vibes, bro. I don't know. I like the imagery of the void though, like a lot.
That it's black.
That it slowly went from like stars to no stars.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Like one criticism I had actually of Stargate Universe was when they entered their void, like it was like a clear, like the stars ended. And you're like, that's not how it would work. I understand you wanted to visualize that, but that's not how it would work on TV. So they did it correctly here. All right. Well, what about the look of the spaceship? And how do these creatures, like, are they intelligent? I need to know more about this. Are the creatures intelligent? Or are they, like, just monsters? Because they're building, like, spaceships. So, anyone want to tell me how that works?
Well, yeah. So they're obviously not just those little things. They're ultimately the humanoids we end up seeing at the end. So apparently that's just how they reproduce. So they're eventually able to build spaceships and do all that stuff, which we learn.
Ah, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is just how they have to lure in other entities in order to reproduce.
I mean, that's really unique.
Yeah, totally different idea, and that's something we've never seen before. It reminded me a lot of, yeah, upvote for me too. It reminded me a lot of the movie Alien. Even though that's not how they make the aliens. It's just the idea that it, impregnates and is born basically through the humanoid.
Right.
In this way, it actually changes it into that. So it was really creative.
Yeah. How did the aliens in Alien get around? They didn't have spaceships, right?
No, they were on a planet and they would get picked up by, they would essentially
like a disease.
Yeah, they would wait around until a humanoid came around that they could embed itself into and then be born.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So this is possibly an even more gnarly version of Alien. Might be cool.
Maybe, except yeah. In the beginning, it kind of felt like that.
Do you feel like there were too many people in this landing party?
No, I mean, no. I mean, I don't know why they would take less.
Well, what do you need? What do you need Lamar for?
I mean, it's like a base that seems empty. So he's an engineer, so it makes sense to have him.
And you need Tala because she's strong.
Security. She's security.
And you need Kelly because she's Kelly?
Well, I would say either Ed or Kelly should probably go, but they don't seem to have this rule. I'm Kelly. Well, later on they may have this rule, but they don't seem to have this, like the captain has to stay behind kind of thing.
Right.
On the Orville. So it didn't strike me as odd when it happened.
And the doctor was there because
doctor's always going away missions, bro.
Okay. All right. I know why Admiral Me Too's there is because for two purposes. He wants to be there because he wants to explore things personally, and he has to be the guy that gets, whatever happens to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I first saw this, it felt like a lot of people. I think, what's funny is if Ed or Kelly were not in this group, it wouldn't feel like a lot.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't feel like a lot to me. So
okay.
I guess
that's fair.
I guess to you, it must feel like a lot because I don't know. Maybe you explain to me why you think it's a lot.
Well, as a lot of people are put at risk when you don't know what is there,
okay.
Or, and a lot of important people are put at risk.
That's fair.
All right.
They don't have red shirts on the show, bro.
You're right.
You got to remember, they don't have, we never get just random people. Like, except this episode, we did get a random person, but it doesn't usually operate that way.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of random people that died this episode. Very cool, by the way, this set. I love, like, the green light behind, like, the red. It's very striking, very unique. Very alien, right?
Yeah, they did a really good job, and I'll give that an upvote. They did a good job of creating this additional, this offset world,
right? Or ship or whatever, right?
Right.
All right,
it's empty. It's creepy. This whole episode is kind of spooky, and that's what when Tom did his cut. It was now entering a haunted house, right?
Yeah, it had that vibe.
And it definitely, through the entire thing, it was a scary episode. Watching it with my younger children, they would have been like, "What? I'm not watching that."
So here it is. Here's the moment. Admiral Christie has gotten a little too close to the wrong thing. That didn't happen. Damn it.
Yeah, it's not there.
Here we go. Right.
There you go.
Oh yeah, let me get more closer to this hole. Interesting. What can that? Oh no!
Oh, something. I guess something in my eye. What? What happened?
I don't know. It moved, man. Yeah. So good times.
There's a good comment over here. Did they ever determine if the ship was organic or not? And that is a really great question. Like in Stargate, they have
Wraith.
The Wraith, or it's an organic ship, right?
Right. Yeah. The Wraith ships are grown.
This very well could be an organic vessel. We didn't figure that out in this episode, but that's totally possible. There's things growing on the walls. So
yeah. Yeah, which is cool. All right, and the Admiral passes out, and now I gotta say the makeup for this was so good. Upvote from me.
Vote me up too. Yep.
Can I be honest? I wish they would have kept him in this in between state.
Yes,
because I did not like the final form.
Yeah, there's actually, you can go another step forward to his next evolution of where his thing is, where he's got the giant one eye on one side.
Right.
And I'm like, that is creepy.
It was so creepy.
Like, it would have been cooler if they hadn't gone all the way. I mean, I know they had to go all the way, because then, you know, you would have personified this guy too much when he really needed to be another being.
No, but geez, I disagree. I think that would have made it even more of a complex thought.
Yeah.
When if there was a remnant of the human in there. Remember that horror movie? Oh my God, I'm forgetting it. It's a horror movie where they out in the country scarecrow. No, it's like a scarecrow that like hunts the kids in the bus and he like takes their skin. Oh my God, how am I forgetting the name of this movie?
They take their skin?
Yeah, there's this alien thing that like hunts every like 5 or 6 years or so, or decade or whatever, and like the kids are like on the school bus going through a field. It breaks down and he starts hunting them, and they figure out that he's wearing their skin. Jeepers Creepers. Thank you. Yeah. Jesus,
that was actually a really good movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
But one of the things that made Jeepers Creepers such a revolting reveal was when like you saw a part of the human face on him, you know?
Yeah.
And they probably should have done the same thing here. I feel like the final form of the alien monster was just not as creepy as it could have been.
Well, yeah, ultimately it ended up not being as creepy as him laying there and what he looked like. Right. It was scary like the first time they showed it, but I think when you show them going around the ship and crawling on the walls, which is super creepy, they cease to be as scary, I think. And maybe part of the, listen, the Orville's not always making a horror episode. That's not what they do.
Right. Yeah.
So less is more in that situation probably, but not enough to downvote it.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I would have probably done the old sort of horror method of not showing the monsters. Maybe showing one or two, but then when you want to, show that there's a lot of them, have like noises and shadows and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that one shot with the face. Like, it was really creepy. It was super duper creepy. I mean, we're not there yet, I guess. Should I be talking about it yet?
Yeah. Let's talk about when we get there. So they go back to the alien ship, and they're going to examine the pulsating anuses. I'm assuming.
What is that? Is that the first thing that came? I was going to say flowers, but okay, yeah, anuses. I got it.
Those look like flowers to you?
Well, they look like they're opening up into flowers. No.
What does your anus look like?
I never even considered.
Looks like
I never considered an anus at all.
I mean, to me, it looks like they look like anuses. I'm not gonna lie.
To me, it looks like spacemen with a helmet on their head. Wait, it is. They don't look like flowers. They look like pumpkins.
They don't look like pumpkins. That's a better. Yeah, they look like upside down pumpkins.
Pumpkins, anuses. It's all good.
All right, here's the moment. Yes.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Right?
That's makeup is legit. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That was where my upvote came in.
Yeah. That is so good. that it's honestly disappointing at what he ends up looking like, because that is so good. That is amazing. That is, like, my wife was watching. She was like, "Oh my god, what?"
Wouldn't it have been crazy if like there was an entire race of whatever race you were, that this thing was able to turn you into basically that, where you got two little eyeballs above one eye, and like maybe there's some other weird things about you, and that's the new race of whatever alien this is.
Right. I like that.
Yeah. Some fangs, maybe. That would have been cool.
Yeah, it looked really good. I'm not gonna upload it again because I already did, but that was really good graphics. My goodness. All right. Like that's good enough to, like, if I put that on the thumbnail, it might get demonetized. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, then it's good. Yeah. Right.
Oh, and like the pus sacks and all that, just very, very good.
Very
Everything about this is like really well done. Yeah. So, and they make sure to show it off because I'm sure it says like, yeah, this is amazing. Maybe focus the camera. Okay, I'm trying to get to the actual monster. So this is creepy, like the dark hallway. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There was just a moment where my brain sort of like tipped to Chief Kyle from Strange New Worlds when I saw this guy walking down the hallway.
Yeah.
Because he has that vibe.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. And he finds, so other people are getting infected on the ship. That's a bummer. I wonder how many they lost. There was at least nine monsters there.
I was thinking between like 6 and 12, somewhere in there.
Interesting. Okay.
This was very creepy. Like this whole part with the kids, right up until, like they're coming out. You see like little skitters off in the shadows, and you're like, oh, this is really spooky. It's like all really great up until at this point.
Right. Yeah, and so she went to their quarters looking for their kids, and the kids went to the sick bay looking for their mom. Like at that moment, you're just assuming something bad's going to happen, right?
Yes.
But that would have been a cliche, so I'm sort of glad I didn't.
Although we do get this great scene, if you go forward a little bit, you get this kind of little hide and seek thing, which reminded me a lot of Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, yeah, yes. Me too.
I got that Jurassic Park vibe where the kids, when they're hiding in the kitchen in Jurassic Park, and you got the boys hiding kind of around the back of things, and then moving just before the dinosaur, or I guess in this case the
Velociraptor,
flesh-eating zombie creature thing.
Yeah, total Jurassic Park. Hold on to your butts.
And I got kind of the sound almost sounded like a Velociraptor.
Yeah,
the
sound the creatures making.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it was more scary when we had not seen the actual creature.
Yeah, I think once we start seeing them like in like full form constantly, I think the moment where John ends up locking himself in the brig to escape, which by the way was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Really great move. But that's an upvote for me when we get there. But when they're just like chilling there in front of it, like looking at him, I'm like, the mystery and the fear is dissipating from me.
Right. Although seeing this random guy just get like yeeted by the monster was sort of nice.
That was cool.
Oh, and like, also, I feel like he transformed way too fast.
There's something on the screen there. The screen's black to me. Are you still showing?
Oh, I was. I guess my bad, guys. There you go.
There we go.
How long has that been like that? Jeez.
Not long.
Okay. Yeah, it's like he like instantly starts to change into the monster.
Yes, that was cool.
Was that
really
cool?
Great special effects change? Yeah.
Yes, it was cool. The special effects change was cool. But why did it take other guys so much time?
Well, because he was infected by the pod. So it had to be gestated inside of him.
Oh, okay.
So it had to go through a system so that he changed. Now the actual creature is probably able to immediately change other people.
Right.
There's almost a Borg-like quality to this. We'll talk about it later, though.
Right. Oh man, organic Borg on the Orville. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's what I wanted to show. So the makeup is good.
That looks great, though. Like that looks great.
It looks great, but it's not as creepy as the human face, I don't think. And subjectively, obviously. But also, I don't think his body matches the face. Like they're too.
You think it's not big enough, or
like I think their bodies are too humanoid. I have a feeling that next time you see this race, they're gonna be updated a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how far into budget they wanted to go to. Like, I mean, they obviously had to CG a lot of this. You know, do they want to give him tails? You know, how much you got, because you got to go far. You know, once you've done the face, once doing the body, you know, you have to, you know, decide how far you want to go with that.
Right. Yeah. They explained what, Richard? Tell us in the chat. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is that moment. Or it's coming up. John Lamar. I love this too. And he's like talking to Isaac. Isaac did great in this episode too. Oh, there's a scene coming up I'm going to upvote so hard is when the alien comes face to face with Isaac.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Oh, man. I was hoping that Isaac would just like destroy him.
Yeah.
All right. This is the moment when he gets trapped in the brig. Yeah, that's cool. So this is an upvote.
That was cool. I mean, way to think it, you know. Yeah, give me mine there. You know, and they're trying to get through. They don't understand, which, you know, we'll determine later or not whether that's reality or not.
Their bodies don't work for me.
They do seem like people in suits at this point. So it goes back and forth from people in suits to cool CGI crawling along the ceilings.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I guess there's only so much you can do.
There is only so much you can do in these situations. And so, I mean, it didn't bug me horribly. I would say the only thing that took me out was I was less afraid of them.
Right. Tala has a cool moment.
She's got a majorly cool moment.
Yeah, she kicks some butt, bro.
In fact, that's an upvote for me. We finally get to see Tala really unleash what she's capable of doing.
Yeah, I agree. That's an upvote too. That was
she really kicks the crap out of these things.
Yeah, I guess they weren't. They just decided not to spit on her though. That's my.
I mean, guys, I guess they didn't get an opportunity to, or you know, that's you know. As people watching it, we always want to say, well, they'll just spew on you really fast. But it is a TV show and not reality.
Right.
So we have to remember that, you know, just because we think they might have had time to do it doesn't mean that.
That's true.
You know.
Oh, that one tried.
It did. She dodged it.
That was cool. Yeah. Tala's a Chad, bro.
Chad.
I mean, dude, so someone's messaging me and my... Sorry, guys. Hold up. Let me turn this off.
Somebody's like, this is the Orville. It's not Star Trek.
Dude. Come on. Leave me alone. Oh, my God. It's Fishing Clan.
Fishing Clash?
It's a Fishing Clash or whatever. All right. Yeah, so this whole scene was cool. Yeah. Boom. Kicked her. I mean, this is rad.
Yeah.
We finally get to see Tala. Yeah. So how long since season 2? We haven't really gotten to see her people. Like they've touched on it, but they, you know, she like easily and calmly dispatched these 2 aliens.
Yeah. Well, there were more than 2 even. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is the scene. I'm getting an upvote. This is getting an upvote too. I'll show you guys right now. I'll play. You gonna give it an upvote or not?
I think it was cool, but I didn't upvote.
Okay, I'm giving it upvote because this was the coolest part of this episode for me. Ready? And again, I'm an Isaac guy, and so awesome, man.
You know why I didn't upvote it?
Huh?
Because his little eyes should have came out, and he should have just devastated this thing right now.
Yes, I do agree with that.
But, you know, I get that, like, they wanted to have this moment where he's a machine and it's trying to figure out whether or not it can, you know, make it one of them.
Right.
So I get that moment. But as soon as it had that moment, Isaac should have just obliterated it.
Oh, you know what would have been rad? What if he determines he's going to try and he spits on Isaac and then Isaac goes and spits back with his...
Yes, that would have been cool.
And just disintegrates him and then just casually keeps walking down the hallway.
And then he just keeps on going down the hall. That would have been perfect.
That would have been so rad.
That would have been such, because we got to remember Isaac's a badass.
Yeah. He has a whole like laser cannon in his head.
Yeah, they probably didn't do it because Tala had that big old fight already. But it would have been cool it definitely would have been cool.
It didn't have to be a big fight. It could have been like this stare down, and the alien goes, all right, spits at him, and then Isaac looks back and goes, and spits back.
Yeah, and spits back, right? Because nothing happened.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. Anyways.
Because I think they, and here's another reason why this doesn't really work, even though I get what they were trying to do, and I'm actually going to give it a downvote, because, in this situation, they're trying to but Isaac's not scared. There's no tension in this scene because we know that this alien can't hurt Isaac. So all the tension is gone. Like, we're supposed to be scared or frightened for Isaac in this moment, but it can't do anything to him. And we know this. So I think it's a loss of an opportunity to have that sort of tense moment that they're looking for by him going face to face with Isaac, right?
Yeah. It would have been really rad, though, had Isaac done something heroic here. Like,
yeah.
Maybe when the guy takes off, the camera shoots around, and Isaac grabs it by his leg and just starts casually dragging it down the hallway.
That'd have been cool. And then his face comes out, like,
right.
Something bad's about to happen in the next room or something.
Yeah, all right. They could have done something here with Isaac.
Yeah.
All right. But I still gave it up, though, because I thought it was a cool scene.
Yeah, it was cool. The face to face. What's up, baby? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. All right. So, then Lamar is like, dude, I'm stuck in the brig. Come get me out, bro. Come on, bro. John Burns says, how do you know Isaac can go full Kalon? Could have been deactivated. I guess that's possible. But he's still strong. Here's what I would say, John. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
So as far as we are aware of, he can still do those things. We try to operate from a stance of like, what we know or don't know.
Yeah,
so
canon.
They should show us that if he can't do that.
Yep. Okay. Lamar being Lamar. Blah blah blah. Okay. So Tala brings the dead. I don't even.
You got a button switch again.
Oh, damn it! My bad, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. It's really weird. Oh, no, that's not right. There it goes.
There we go.
Yeah. So Tala brings, what are these things called? We don't know, right?
We don't know, actually. Demons.
Demons. Tala brings the Krill's demons, one of them, to sickbay. And just when they needed it. And they figure out that the genome has been completely transformed, but there's still some white blood cells remaining.
Mm-hmm. So that means it's human.
It was human, and it has very little white blood cells. And so the way to kill it is a simple cold virus.
Vote for cool science.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that.
Do you think that I think we've seen that before, right? Like that's sort of like homage to like the Indian Native Americans and the programs. Like I think in the movie what was that movie War of the Worlds, like I think the aliens came down here and like kill us, but then they got sick or something.
I recall that. That was ended up being the thing that saved them or something. Yeah.
Right. So I like this a lot. And I sort of don't like the fact that they didn't do it that way. Like they let them go. How do you feel about this?
Well, if we're there, then yeah. So that's a big downvote for me, actually.
Yeah. So between this and there is just them walking around with blasters shooting them. So
yeah. So Ed decides. It's Ed who does it. So Dr. Claire's got this idea. Let's spread flood everything, and then Ed says, well, maybe we shouldn't kill him. Maybe, look, there's the ship coming. So they find out one of their ships are coming. He goes, maybe we shouldn't kill him. They're still our crew members. And so then they said, well, let me try to reach him. Let me try to reach Admiral Christie and see if I can reach them. And I downvote this because, look, these creatures have come on your ship. They're obviously trying to kill everyone. And to me, it felt like negotiating with the creatures from the movie Aliens. Like I'm not sure why what's the bonus for just getting them off your ship? Like, these aren't benevolent, going to take care of you creatures. The next people they run into, they're going to do the same thing to.
Right. Yeah. Like they were nice to the Krill and barely was able to get a relationship out of that.
Right. So it's like, I don't think this species was worthy of saving. Did you give my downvote?
Yeah.
And I'm also going to give another downvote because then, basically Claire's like, do it, kill him, get rid of him. And then the alien's like, he sees what's happened. He's like, oh, hold on. Go ahead. Yeah. We'll leave. Right. And then he's like, and then he threatens her and he's like, but this isn't the last time we'll see each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did you not just immediately kill them at that moment? So you're going to let them off the ship and go away. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And
my response, yes, you're 100% right. I got to downvote it too. Damn it. I didn't want to. I got to. Because you're right. When he threatens her, my response as Penny would have been, oh, okay, never mind. Captain, go ahead and release it.
Yeah, that's it.
He threatened her. We're going to let them go. And they just said they're going to come back and kill us all. So let's just solve this problem right now.
Yeah, they just taught us, and not to necessarily bring the Star Trek into the Orville, but for what we understand, we just met the organic Borg. Because he said, we're going to make you one of us.
Right.
And so as soon as that happened, you got to understand, this is insidious. This isn't like we're going to be buddies now, so we're going to let you go. So, whatever, you need to, annihilate them. Because now what's going to happen is these creatures are going to go back to that ship and communicate everything going on what just happened. And now the Orville is going to become even a bigger target than they were previously.
Right. And I $5 says the weakness that she just explained to them,
yes,
will no longer be a weakness when they're able to deal with it.
Yeah. Or if they can, solve that, maybe they can't, but that now they know. So you've just given them a 1-up. Now, granted, at the end of this episode, they say the Admiralty basically said no more going in there. So I don't think we're going to run into these creatures probably again for a while, if at all.
What if they just come to us? They have ships, dude.
Could happen that way. They got to get through krill space first, but yeah.
It's true. They have to get through krill space. Oh. Yeah, another downvote. I'm so sorry, guys. How did they leave?
The alien creatures?
Yeah. How did they leave?
That's a really good point, because they did not show, like, they beam them off. Everything's kind of done with space shuttles around here. So yeah, you're right. We didn't get to see that. Like, you wouldn't want that spaceship connecting to your ship to get its people off.
Right. And like, okay, we're going to go. Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Where did they go? And like, you just casually walk away like you solved the problem. Let's go back to Union space. Wait a minute. How did they get off the ship? That actually is a big problem.
Yeah, give me a downvote too. You're right. That's something that needs to be.
How did they get off the ship? Yeah. And if they can get off the ship if they can spacewalk as those creatures, that is even more. That's even more insane.
I'm okay with that if that's the case.
Right, but they should have shown that. They should have shown them on the outside of the ship, jumping out the ship for like a quick few seconds, because it would have made them even more terrifying that they can spacewalk without space suits.
Yeah. Yeah, right. No, that's a good point.
All right. So, overall, I did like this. I did like the last scene with Isaac sitting down with Claire. I thought that was lovely.
Almost like because there was some, was she still going to, and she's obviously okay with him again.
Yeah, because, it's right at this point, it's either Isaac or a blood-sucking alien. So...
She's got her perspective back with Isaac. Is that what you're saying?
It's like, oh, you are not as bad as Admiral Me Too.
Overall, I'd like to give the episode an upvote, because I think overall the episode was very good, even though it may have had a little bit of troubles here and there and a little bit of continuity issues. Overall, a not so great. What did one of the salty guys say the other day? Matt said, even not the best episode of the Orville is still a great episode of television, or a good episode of television, like pizza.
That's true. That is very true.
So I will tell you guys.
I'm going to give it an upvote too, overall, because I was thoroughly entertained.
Absolutely. Excellent hour of television. It was fun. We got to see something new. We got an adventure. I will say that next week's episode, if you are down at all a little bit about this episode and you're kind of like, next week's episode is going to blow your socks off. By far the best of the first 3 episodes. Next week's episode is good.
Yeah. We're not supposed to explain much, but I gotta tell you,
we're not going to say nothing. But yeah.
The next episode of the Orville is some of the best science fiction I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah. So you still be hyped for next week, even if this one you're like,
Oh, next week is so good. So good. It's so good. All right. That's it, man. Oh, the idiot says, especially after they made a point to say that they needed a breathable atmosphere, implying the creatures need a breathable atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Hey, someone call Ed. They're still on the ship, Ed! They're still on the ship. They're in the Jeffries tubes or whatever they're called.
Yeah. So a couple things I want to put. $2 super chat here from Salty Trekker. Thanks, Salty. By the way, Salty Trekker, shout out. If you haven't seen our latest video, you got to go, and it was all Salty Trekker's idea. And we just made a video out of it, and you got to go watch that. It's really great. Really no downvote for all religion is bad.
I didn't get that this episode.
Huh. Yeah, you'll have to hit us up with that one. All religion is bad. I didn't get that one.
Tell me.
Now, I know that
what?
Maybe the Krill, because their religion, they question the Krill's religion, maybe.
So if they didn't listen to the Krill because the Krill were zealots, and then you're saying the Admiral said. So if the Admiral said that their religion is bad, and then he gets turned into a monster, I think karma. This episode is telling you that he was wrong.
That's karma.
Yeah, that's straight karma. I think you're seeing it wrong. You gotta watch past the moment that Admiral Me Too, who you established as a dirtbag, said something bad about their religion, because then he gets turned into a blood-sucking organic Borg. So I gotta tell you, overall, I'm pretty sure the message was not their religion's bad. I'm pretty sure overall the message was that guy's an idiot.
Yeah. So if anything, if you're a fan of religion, it would probably deserve an upvote from us. But I'm pretty ambivalent either way. So.
All right. So that's that. So I think you're wrong. So you gotta tell us, Mike. What we just said. Think about that.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's Archmage says something here that maybe we have higher expectations for the Orville.
Oh,
maybe
Victor Garber said it, not the Me Too guy.
Oh,
whatever. They didn't listen to the religious guys, and they ended up getting turned into zombies. So, I think overall, maybe they should have had a little more respect for the Krill's religion, even if it didn't play.
Yeah, and I think. I don't know where they came from with Victor Garber doing that. I don't know if that's the sentiment of the show. I don't know if Seth is religious or not, but I don't think
the actress that plays Victor Garber doesn't like religion for sure.
Really?
Yeah, because he was in that show Legends. Mm-hmm. His character had said multiple things about religion too, and that he must be something to do with his must be an actor's thing.
Yeah, he said, can we write this in? Because, religion's bad, whatever. In that case, listen, to each their own. If you love religion, good for you. If you don't, that's your thing.
Do what you want.
Overall, though, for what Archmage said, it's not that we have higher expectations for the Orville. It's just that, we love the Orville, and we really love what they're doing and where they're going. And in the end, it's going to end up being good. But we're going to be honest no matter what. Even if we love a show, we're still going to be honest and upvote and downvote properly. So, at least the way we see it.
Well, it's not. We love the Orville, but that doesn't mean it got a stellar score. In fact, this week's score, if you look at the numbers, 5.4, 4.5, that's a full 2 points below Strange New Worlds. Doesn't mean we didn't enjoy it, but there were some problems, right?
Yeah, there were.
So this is as scientific as we can get. We love it. We still love the episode, but this is how it played out. This is why we came up with the point system, because people kept trying to quantify. Well, was it better? Was it worse? What'd you think? Well, there's our score, 4.5.
Now, to give you some context, Kenobi was a negative what?
A negative 73.
It was negative something.
No,
right?
it was negative 5.5 or something like that. 8.5. Yeah. Kenobi was negative 8.5.
Right. So there you go. So
yeah,
this is doing Orville's doing just fine.
Yeah, Orville's doing fine. Yeah, 4.5 is not bad. 6.5 is stellar, but that's the highest score we've given anything aside from last week's episode of the Orville that we gave a 10.
Yeah, stay tuned. Next week's episode of the Orville was probably going to be
might be the highest score yet. Yeah,
might be the highest score.
All right.
Oh, and if you're, we need to take this opportunity to, if you've ever considered being a member with us, and if you do love the Orville, you're going to want to become members. And Brian's going to share the link with you in a sec, because we're going to be interviewing members of the cast, and we're going to be streaming those as live member streams so that you guys can get to see that. And we'll be airing them probably a little later, but if you want to be a member, see it live, get to ask questions, this is going to be a great opportunity to do it, besides getting some extra content, which it feels like we're doing so much more these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you honestly think Strange New Worlds is better than the Orville? No. We do not. We have first off, we have yet to actually come to a conclusion on Strange New Worlds, because it's the first season and it hasn't ended yet. So far, so far it's doing really well and we enjoy it. But if we're saying Strange New Worlds this episode, I would say by the score, Strange New Worlds episode this week was better than Orville's episode this week, score-wise.
I think it was. No, I think it was. I think I think what made Strange New Worlds better this week than the Orville was, the Orville had a few issues running into the end with the creatures, but Strange New Worlds had that wonderful, to serve man cookbook moment where they flip it on us and we realize they're sucking the life out of kids.
Right.
And it's like, it looks like they're exalting them, and then all of a sudden they're actually killing them. And it was not something we saw coming.
Right.
And it was a nice flip. And I think that's why the episode was probably better.
And so here's the ready. So we got 6.5 for Strange New Worlds, 4.5 for the Orville, and 8.5 for Kenobi.
Minus 8.5.
Minus 8.5 for Kenobi.
That tells you where things are.
Yeah. So, so stick around. We'll be back next week for that, and we're going to wrap up this review. Let us know in the comment section what you guys thought of this week's episode of the Orville, and please come back next week, because next week's episode review is going to be amazing. We actually got to see that episode fairly early, and we are still simping hard for it. Such a good episode. All right, moving on.